A lonely young prince bored in his palace went hunting. He encountered a rabbit, a fox, and a deer, all of whom he spared. In return, the deer guided him to an oak tree with a fairy hidden inside. The prince was told to cut a branch and bring water. Upon finding the tree and cutting a branch, a beautiful fairy emerged, desperate for water. The prince, in his haste, dropped his flask and the fairy sadly perished. He buried her with a heavy heart. Later, the fox appeared and advised the prince to try again, reminding him to bring water. This time, the prince brought wine, thinking it would suffice. The fairy reappeared, drank the wine, and again tragically passed away. The prince buried her once more. Finally, the rabbit met the prince and led him to a spring. With fresh water in hand, the prince returned to the oak tree. The fairy appeared, drank the water, and this time lived. She thanked the prince for freeing her. On their way to the palace, the fairy, wishing to dress appropriately, asked the prince to fetch her some clothes while she waited by a well in a willow tree. A wicked witch came to draw water, saw the fairy, tricked her, and threw her into the well, turning her into a golden fish. The witch then brought her own ugly daughter to impersonate the fairy. The prince, upon his return, was deceived by the witch's daughter, who claimed the sun had changed her appearance. He took her back to the palace. The witch visited her daughter and instructed her to pretend to be ill, then demand the golden fish from the well as a cure. The prince, anxious for his princess, had the fish caught and cooked. A single scale fell to the ground, and from it grew a magical golden apple tree which bore fruit daily and attracted fairies. The witch, fearing discovery, ordered the tree cut down. A poor man tasked with the job found a chip of the tree and took it home. The chip contained the fairy. Unbeknownst to the man and his family, the fairy would emerge each day to clean their house. The man's daughter eventually discovered the fairy and prevented her from returning to the chip. The two girls, now friends, went to work at the king's court. While telling stories, the fairy revealed her true identity to the prince. Overjoyed, the prince embraced her. The wicked witch and her daughter were punished, and the prince and the fairy lived happily ever after.